और अब आपको बराह रास्त लिए चलते डेरा गाजी खान सिटी स्कूल की तरफ से ए और ओ लेवल में नुमाया कारकर्दगी दिखाने वालों में आरपीओ डेरा सुहेल हबीब ताजिक इनामात तकसीम कर रही है।
Who is the subject-wise high achiever in science and Urdu and also achieved an overall 90% and above. Who is the subject-wise high achiever in Urdu and also achieved an overall 90% and above. Who is the subject-wise high achiever in maths and Urdu. Abir Fatma, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Urdu. Bisma Zara Kesar, who is the subject-wise high achiever in maths, science and Urdu and overall 90% and above. Who is the subject high achiever in science. Saman Saad, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Urdu. Malik Fahad Elahi, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Urdu. Sayyid Sibt Ali Hassan, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Urdu. Shakil, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Urdu. Muhammad Arham, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Urdu. Rehab Rahman, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Urdu, Math, Science and overall 90% and above. Amna Faisal, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Urdu, Math, Science and overall 90% and above. Ummul Baneen, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Urdu, Science and overall 90% and above. Shehzad, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Urdu, Science and overall 90% and above. Nabiha Fatma, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Urdu, Science and overall 90% and above. Who is the subject-wise high achiever in Urdu, Science and overall 90% and above. Iman Noman, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Urdu. Who is the subject-wise high achiever in Science and Urdu. Tehreem Zafar, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English and Urdu. Hareem Fatma, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English and Urdu. Mohammed Shamir, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Urdu, Math, Science and overall 90% and above. Mohammed Khuzaima Sultan, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Urdu and Science and overall 90% and above. Mohammed Yahya, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Urdu, Maths and Science and overall 90% and above. Suhaib Ali, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Urdu, Maths, Science and overall 90% and above. Mir Azmir Ali, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Science and Urdu. Hamid Khan, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Science. Ram Hussain Raza, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Science and Urdu. Sayyid Muhammad Awais, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Science and Urdu. Osman Saeed, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Urdu, Maths and Science and overall 90% and above. Amar Musa, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Urdu, Maths, Science and overall 90% and above. Abdul Rafiq Khan, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Urdu, Maths, Science and overall 90% and above. Mohammed Raza Ali, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Urdu, Maths, Science and overall 90% and above. Harun Abdullah, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Maths, Science and overall 90% and above. Muhammad bin Asjad, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Science, Urdu and overall 90% and above. Mohammed Afshal Khosa, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Science, Urdu and overall 90% and above. Mohammed Haider Raza, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Maths, Urdu and overall 90% and above. Mohammed Ikrash, who is the subject-wise high achiever in Urdu. Subject-wise high achiever in Science. Hamna Fatma, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English, Maths, Science and Urdu and overall 90% and above. Atiya Amin, English, Urdu and Science and overall 90% and above. Is the overall subject high achiever in English, Urdu, Science and overall 90% and above. Hifza Sharif, who is the subject-wise high achiever in English and Science and overall 90% and above.
डेरा गाजी खान में सिटी स्कूल की तरफ से ओवरऑल लेवल में नुमाया कारकर्दगी दिखाने वालों में डेरा आरपीओ हबीब ताज एक इनामात तकसीम कर रहे हैं। खबरें आपने जानी, न्यूज स्टूडियो से तलबा कितना ही मजीद खबरों से बाखबर रहने के लिए देखते रहिए रोही।